It is time for a Quick Tips Tuesday episode of the Your Empty Nest Coach podcast. I am your host, Coach Christine, and this is episode number 91 of my podcast. I work with mothers of high school students and beyond who are in the trenches with sad and possibly overwhelming thoughts about what their life will look like when their baby heads to college and begins to leave the nest. My client's big question is, what will I do with my time? Is this you? I've been there and I get it. Empowering you to write the next jaw-dropping, amazing chapter in your life is my passion. I am energized by leading you in the process of exploration and am thrilled when you unlock the power that lies within you. This podcast is my gift to you. If this is your first time listening, I invite you to check out my Friday episodes as well, where I provide bite-sized coaching assistance to guide you along your empty nest transition years. This is an amazing time of our lives, but it is easy to forget that through the bumps in the road in our journey. And wow, 2020 has certainly provided some bumps in our journey, hasn't it? Be sure to check out my 12-episode Not So Empty Nest series that I produced for you when my social or physical distancing began. That series created the hiatus that I had for these quick tips episodes, but we are back. I hope you and your family are healthy and safe, and that yes, even now, in a world of restrictions, that you discover how amazing you are and find excitement at a level you didn't know was possible for your years ahead. A reminder that a list of all the Quick Tips team members and their contact information may be found on my website, youremptynestcoach.com. Look for the Quick Tips team button on the homepage. If you have a quick tip to share with listeners of this podcast, I would love to share it with them. See this episode's show notes for a link to record your audio submission for this podcast. Happy recording, friend. But Christine, where are the show notes? Well, that might help you, huh? You'll find those in the description of this episode. On Apple Podcasts, click Details. On Spotify, click See More. On Overcast, press the I for Information button. Get the idea? Or, of course, visit my website for full show notes with links to everything we discuss in this episode and a full episode transcription. Those reside at youremptynestcoach.com/P for podcast and 91 for this episode's number. I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks. Thank you. It's time to thank our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by my membership community, the GPS Support Flock, your flight to success in the empty nest. If you are ready to find the GPS of your life, sign up to receive an immediate and free download of my PDF, How to Find Yourself in the Empty Nest, our GPS Life Principles document. You will also have the opportunity to learn about our community. See the link in this episode's show notes or fly on over to my website, youremptynestcoach.com. Click the GPS Support Flock button. See you soon! I decided to fill this episode with college student-specific tips, as they mostly are good to go. These tips were all submitted to me before we experienced pandemic restrictions, so understand that a few words or sentences may be from that lens, but the content is still fantastic because, well, these are some amazing women that I have on my team. You've met all my guests before in prior Quick Tips team episodes, so I'm going to jump right in.
Hi, it's your resident scholarship mom, Monica Matthews. To continue the SMART, S-M-A-R-T, method of applying for scholarships from my last tip, today let's look at the M, market yourself. Just a reminder, the S from my last tip was share personal details. The competition for scholarships is fierce, but what many people don't realize is that most students who apply think that they just need to fill out an application, write a quick essay, and submit their work by the required deadline. Done, right? Unfortunately, applying for scholarships in this day and age is not that simple. To become a scholarship winner, students need to market themselves wisely in order for their application to stand out and get noticed by the judges. To do this, they need to focus on these tactics. First, they need to align their writing with the background of the organization offering the scholarship money. For example, the essay for a volunteering scholarship should be written about the student's community service experiences. For a no essay scholarship, or a very short form to fill in with personal details, students need to include a link to a personal website showcasing the student's accomplishments. For a mailed-in scholarship packet, all information should be sent in the requested order, including a cover sheet and scholarship resume, if additional information is allowed. All of the materials need to be mailed in an oversized envelope with the correct postage. For each application, every effort should be made to go over and above to make the best possible impression on the judges. Is there a blank box for extra information? Or the question, is there anything else you would like the scholarship judging committee to know? Students should always take advantage of opportunities like this to share details that are not found anywhere else on the form. One last tip. Scholarship applications should always be typed into, never handwritten. If the student only has a hard copy of the application, a Google search for the company offering the scholarship will usually result in the scholarship page on their website. From here, the application can be downloaded, typed into, and printed out. These are a few of the ways for students to market themselves and allow the judges to clearly see that they are the very best candidate for the scholarship money that's being awarded. I'm here to help you. Don't miss my next tip for A, answer the essay question, to become a college scholarship winner by applying SMART. Thanks for listening and have a beautiful day.
Hi, it's Ann from Parents Guide to the College Puzzle. My quick tip for today is if your high school senior has been rejected by every college, quickly create a plan B so that there can be college in your student's future, possibly even this fall. I can assure you that yours is not the first teen this has happened to. With that in mind, don't waste time lamenting the situation or passing blame. Instead, lift up your teen's bruised self-esteem. That means both of you must be proactive. Start by meeting with your student and their guidance counselor to devise Plan B. She's been through this before and will have some advice and info on options. These should include the following: writing to each school where your senior's been waitlisted to say they're still very interested in attending and highlighting any recent accomplishments that weren't included on their application. Visit the Common App and College Board sites to begin another college search for schools with rolling admissions and late application deadlines. The first week of May, the National Association for College Admission Counseling will post a searchable list of colleges that still have openings. Visit their site, nacacnet.org, to view the list with your teen. Research the transfer process for any schools where your teen was rejected but would still like to attend. In the meantime, they can enroll in community college for the fall semester to earn credits toward their general education requirements. And remember, enjoy your senior's graduation because that is worth celebrating. Good luck.
These are all great tips from Anne. Even with online high school graduation ceremonies, or none at all, your child is still graduating from high school, and that, my friend, is worth celebrating. I know that some colleges have extended their decision day due to the pandemic, and some have reopened their applications. So be sure to check out new opportunities that your child may not have considered before. Thanks, Anne, for sharing these great tips. You'll notice a similar theme in our next tip from Carolyn.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Kaplan, also known as Admissions Mom, and I'm an independent college consultant. My quick tips today are about the waitlist love letter. As we all know, sometimes admissions decisions don't go our way, and it's possible your child will be placed on a waitlist, leaving your child and you in a kind of waitlist limbo. Here's what you need to do. First, mentally move on. Encourage your child to fall in love or strong like with at least one of their acceptances. Go visit that college where they've been accepted already if you can, and accept a place in their class. Then, if they want to remain on the other waitlist, they need to carefully read the waitlist letter from that college and see if they're open to a LOKI, a letter of continued interest. If they are, and your child wants the spot, this LOKI is their chance. So encourage your child to write the love letter of their lives. This is where they lay it all on the line and bare their souls. I call it the waitlist love letter of continued interest. And in it, your child should be polite and friendly. And they need to thank the admissions team for the continued opportunity to be considered. There shouldn't be any complaining or whining about being waitlisted. And definitely do not ask why you weren't admitted. I recommend keeping that waitlist LOKI short, no more than a page or so. Include any updates. They can bullet point these for brevity and clarity. If they've improved their test scores or grades, be sure that's mentioned. If they've won awards or competitions, tell them. But updates can be more personal too. Maybe they reached a personal goal of walking 3,200 miles, or benching 200 pounds, or writing a poem a day for 6 months, or beating the bracket in March Madness. Whatever updates are important to your child can be shared. And If your child will definitely attend if they're admitted, they should say so. After the letter is written, send it and be like Elsa and let it go. Life's too short to wait around on college acceptances.
Do you have the song in your head too? I love this so much. Thank you, Carolyn. I think it's fair to mention that if your child, due to the 2020 pandemic, has put them in a situation that they've needed to rise to that challenge in a way that's impressive, it's a fair time to mention that. What do you think? Since I was delayed on these quick tips episodes, I thought I would add another one of Monica's fantastic scholarship tips in here. Here you go.
Hi, it's your resident scholarship mom, Monica Matthews. To continue the SMART, S-M-A-R-T, method of applying for scholarships from my first few tips, today let's look at the A, answer the essay question. Just a reminder, the S was share personal details, and the M was market yourself. The essay is the heart of the scholarship application, so students need to make sure they completely answer the question or prompt provided. This may seem like a no-brainer, but scholarship judges swear that many students tend to ramble in their essay answers, leaving the original question partially unanswered. Also, some essay questions contain more than one part, and students may think they've fully answered the question, but have not. A great trick for checking essay answer completeness is for students to ask an educated and trusted adult to read their essay, not knowing the question, and see if they can guess what it is. If the reader is unsure or wrong, the student can work on rewriting or clarifying their answer. If the reader knows exactly what the question was, the student knows they have fully answered the question. Students can and should think about the following questions to make sure they've done their very best to write a great scholarship essay to increase their chances of winning money for school. Have I completely answered the question or questions asked? Does my essay begin with a hook, which is content that immediately draws in the reader? Do I write from the heart, sharing true, detailed, and relevant information? Have I identified the theme of the essay and addressed it in my writing? Did I research the background of the organization and become familiar with its mission? Have I had at least 2 pairs of trusted eyes read and review my essay? Has my essay been proofread for grammar, punctuation, and typos? Does my essay follow word count or other format guidelines outlined in the scholarship requirements? When reading my essay, do my words evoke positive reactions such as laughter, smiling, or spontaneous comments like, wow? All of these suggestions make a huge difference when it comes to essay content and completeness. Don't miss my next tip for R, review guidelines, to become a college scholarship winner by applying SMART. Thanks for listening and have a fantastic day.
Seriously, every time I hear Monica's tips, I have this thought that I wish I had found her 4 or more years ago. Be sure to start getting her tips in front of your child early. Next up is Katie Oliveira. Katie and I co-produced an episode in my Not So Empty Nest series together, and I thought I'd share a snippet from that episode as we recorded it just as colleges were beginning to close their campuses.
Mostly this is a conversation on helping both students and their families problem solve through maybe some expected and unexpected challenges that are going to come with us all working and coexisting together in our homes for an extended period of time.
Yes, this is no winter break.
Right.
Katie and I were talking earlier, and one of the things I think happens naturally is anytime your child is home, and students, when you come home, is that you automatically fall into these roles where mom takes care of you, or dad does your laundry, or you expect things to get cleaned up because it's a week, and parents miss you, and that's what we do, and it's okay. But this is a new thing. This is an extended period of time, and this is a time for everyone to fall into, it's an opportunity to really find yourself as, a parent and a child, and to fall into your new roles. I'm looking at it as an adventure in my house.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of the things when I'm talking to parents, especially of high school seniors, about their student going off to college, I like to tell them that the college senior that's leaving your house, that teenager you feel nervous about, is going to come back to your house in 1 year a totally different person. They're going to be much, much more adult, but they're still developing and growing into their full self, but we become adults really quickly. And I think sometimes the transition from having a parent-child relationship to having an adult-child relationship can be sort of tumultuous and rocky in the early 20s. And this is one of those times where we might expedite that transition. And so I think acknowledging that the dynamic is a little bit different is really important.
I always enjoy chatting with Katie, and this episode felt needed on so many levels when we recorded it. The full episode is episode number 75, if you would like to check it out. And for me today, I have 2 tips for you. First, if your child is in the midst of college searching right now, I would invite you and your child to take a good look at how the colleges on their shortlist are handling the changes that are happening now. It is a great time to check out their social media accounts. Did they pivot quickly to offer online virtual tours and information sessions? All of these things should now be included when evaluating fit. And second, I want to remind you to give yourself grace and patience on this journey called life. Give your family, your clients, the companies, and the colleges that you have in your life some grace too. As I record this, as mentioned prior, we are in the midst of physical distancing restrictions, and well, life looks a lot different than it did 2 months ago. No one expected to be where we are now. With our college students back home, jobs that have gone remote or disappeared for us and family members, for mourning small things that you may have not appreciated at the turn of this decade, for those you lose and can't mourn in the way you expected. Gift yourself and your household members with patience and grace. With this much upheaval in routines, upheaval in emotions is to be expected. For extra support, take a listen to my Not So Empty Nest series or join me on a free support call, available a few times each week. Those are our tips for today. I am thrilled you listened. If you enjoyed this episode and want the next Quick Tips episode to make its way to you in your favorite app, take a moment right now to subscribe to this podcast. It's free after all. Next time you need a break from your household members, put some headphones on and take a listen. I have over 80 other episodes waiting for you. Oh, and podcasts are a great way to make cleaning the bathroom a little bit more fun. My episode this Friday continues to explore your life's toolbox. Advanced in concept, so you may need to review a few other episodes before then. But taking inventory of your life's toolbox is an incredible skill to incorporate into your life. For this episode, don't forget that I have contact information for all Quick Tips team members on my website. Be sure to click through, follow your favorites on their website, and let them know you found them through this podcast. Thanks. Thank you. A huge shout out to every member of my GPS support flock. I invite you to fly on over to my website or see my show notes for a link to learn how you may become a GPS support flock member, where you will gain access to all of my programs, monthly workshops, group coaching, and more. See you there. If you are still listening, thanks. Should you be a regular subscriber to this podcast, can you take a moment and leave a 5-star rating and review? That would be lovely. Of course, my amazing empty nest or not so empty nest friend, always remember that you are amazing. See ya. So understand that a few words or sentences pandemic has put you in a situation that you've needed to rise. No, your student.